got a brisk day up here at Mayview, Missouri. Kenny's on the skidder so we can speed this up today. I've got a few more to cut. It just kind of makes things a lot nicer, and you got somebody to run the skidder. And I'm going to pull some choker cable here in a bit to get some logs that are hard to reach. Nothing spectacular here. A rough set of logs, but like that one there, there's some footage in it. He's going to twist that around and drop it so we can drag it out butt first. It's definitely days like today, you're glad you got a machine with heat on it. Those things are pretty nice on these brisk days or even hot days when a little warm, turn the AC up. He's got another one in there, then we're going to go across the creek here. These are from what I cut Sunday. It's now Wednesday. I know we're kind of bouncing around with days and videos, but yesterday, as you've seen in yesterday's video, we moved equipment and delivered trucks and all that, and we missed a day in there, so we're trying to scramble around to get this done. Hopefully we can get this parcel here all finished up today, which that shouldn't be trouble at all. Then we need to move about 4 miles back to the west towards Higginsville. And I've got a few trees over there that go with this job as well. We've got to cut. They're actually doing a bunch of dirt work there, so they're probably ready for us to get those cut and out of their way. Got a grapple one right here. When I cut it the other day, it got into this hedge on the other side of the creek. And I say creek loosely because really these are just drainage ditches, but we want to get the top out of this drainage ditch, so Kenny's going to grapple it. When he does, he's going to pull it on up here back towards where we come from, and I'll cut the log off of it. That's where these dual arches come in handy, getting to stretch out like that. Shift your weight around. They're nice. Then the sheer muscle, that's always an added bonus too. I think we're 168 horsepower is what this H series is. Pretty good tree. Working here by the road. We got a winch out. Kenny's winching one right now. A minute ago, seen an old, I don't know if it was a Franklin or a Tree Farmer cable skidder drive by. I seen it parked up the road yesterday. I didn't see any logs out, so if you drove by and seen us working and you watch the channel, well, hope you're having a good day. Sorry I didn't wave at you. I was in the middle of cutting a tree. I couldn't get turned around in time to wave when I seen your skidder. It's not a real big tree, but it's a good tree. Yummy. Lots of dirt. Grapple machines are nice, but you better have a winch. So many times we have to use these winches on these skidders. Places that are hard to get to, or we just can't reach with a grapple. Something a little different here from what we normally do, but real quick, see him there? B2 from Whiteman, which we're not very far from Whiteman. Working up in here in this area, we see that kind of stuff all the time. There's probably another one somewhere. He's moving along pretty good. But back to what I was saying, something we don't do very often. I fell these trees across this creek, and hopefully we can grab them by the top and drag them across here. That's what we're going to try to do, or in the process of trying to do anyway. It might not work. I might have just made more work for myself and Kenny than it was worth, but we're going to try it. I think he's got it. Now, there was no good way to get the skidder in where those trees were growing, so I put a notch and a hinge and some wedges and pushed them back this way across the creek. So the tops went all the way across the creek. See the tree here, decent tree, definitely worth getting, but there was really no way to get that 648 over there to grapple them, to drag them out. So sometimes logging's about troubleshooting and finding solutions to problems real quick. That's one of the things I like about it. No two jobs are the same. I mean, you're doing the same thing, you're cutting trees, but at the same time there's different challenges that arise on every job, and when you can kind of look at them and see how to troubleshoot them and get the job done quickly, it kind of makes you feel good. Because I always tell people I'm not a super smart man anyway. That's probably why I am logging instead of working at NASA or doing something that doesn't take up all my time. Kenny's headed down the road to the last part of the job. We got this little pile drug up, bucked up, they're ready to go. Not a bad set of logs, nothing real big, a few decent pieces, but overall just a good little bunch of lumber. Nothing out of the ordinary in there, but we're happy to have them. Always happy to have them. So we got I don't know, 7 or 8 more to cut. Hopefully we can get everything cut and done by the end of the day. So we're gonna push hard. It's about 2 o'clock, so time we get moved and bucked, and I think I'm about out of saw gas, so I'll have to go in town to get some gas. So I did the last little bit of cutting first thing this morning to get this job wrapped up. We come close to getting it finished up yesterday, but I run out of gas. My chain was dull. It was getting late in the day, so I knew I had to come back today anyway, so we just finished her up this morning. Now, I didn't get to do any filming on this job yesterday. We were in kind of a hurry. Things were moving fast. As you can see, we've got some equipment. There's some dirt work going on right now. The hoe is right over here digging out stumps, which you can't see from the glare in the windows. We'll come back and you'll see them. But yeah, they're turning all this into farm ground, and they were nice enough, and I told them this morning, I mean, when I bought these trees, I didn't know they were gonna do what they were doing out here. I just thought they wanted me to cut the trees. But put this load up. Yeah, so they were nice enough to leave them in the ground and let me cut them, which honestly, that's how I prefer things. But more times than not, it saves clients money if they go ahead and use the tree as leverage to get the whole thing out of the ground, stump and all. But since these guys own the equipment and own the ground, yeah, it worked out really good. We'll throw the door open here, kind of see what we're working with. Some of these things are pretty ornery, which we knew they would be when I bought them, being out here in the pasture. Some of them are pretty good. They've got some size to them. I've had to butt some off to clean them up. Some of them I still need to butt a little more off to get them clean, but yeah, all in all, decent sized trees. A couple really good logs in there, but they were a little ornery. Now we're just gonna help this guy a little bit. I see him over here piling brush, so I'm gonna take the skidder and we'll just push these treetops over to him. That way he doesn't have to walk and pack things with that hoe. It's a big 200 Komatsu, and old girl ain't built for speed, where we can get behind a bunch of these tops, just lower the blade and go to pushing. Grab this top with the grapple. Like one of them southern boys now, bringing wood to the loader. ain't no wonder these guys don't worry about digging the stumps up here as easy as they dig out. Man, that big hoe and this black dirt right here, he just digs them out in no time flat. It ain't like back home where you're fighting rock and sand and rock. We'll go back over here in just a second and bring the skidder over here and park it, because hopefully this weekend or first of next week we'll get it moved back south. This is my last job right here in the Higginsville area. Today we are actually right outside of Higginsville. The city limits is just right there where those trees are you see in the distance. So for now, this is the last job I have on the books up here. It's been a lot of fun working here. I always love getting to work up in this area. It's one of my favorite areas in Missouri to work. So we'll go through here and we're gonna get these things marked up and get them ready. Like I said, there's a few pieces here. This one actually did pretty good. That one's got a little hole in it there. This one did pretty good, all things considered. That piece there I had to cut a little bit off. This ugly thing here, it's got to be cut off some, and of course that thing there is still pretty bad. So pasture trees, they'd been exposed to cattle most of their lives. Just big old trees. Big old, not big old. Big old trees. Clear that up, that way I don't sound like too much of a hillbilly. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.